Hey everyone, it's been a while on this Anti-Snyder channel, but I happen to break it to you. If you don't know, James Gunn's Superman movie came out in theaters 2 weeks ago. And despite it got a lot of underwhelming box office performance, and it got good reviews, it was a box office success. But why? Why? Because here's the thing. Many Snyder cultists, or monkey bots, as per referencing in the movie, are delusional about the new, this movie's gonna be sucked, because this movie's gonna be flopped because of the new, about the Snyder Bros, or the new Fantastic Four movie with Pedro Pascal. No. But I think the question is, you guys are delusional, because I don't care. This movie is already a success. But this movie's already flopped internationally. Yes, did success internationally, but it already flopped because of the Trump tariffs. And no one cares, because, I don't know, if this movie is already flopped, but many of Snyder Bros or anyone went to see a new Fantastic Four movie instead with Pedro Pascal, you are delusional. Because I think there's one question. Back in the early days, a few years ago, when Warner Bros. Merged with Discovery, known as the Warner Bros. Discovery, DC has a failures like The Flash with Widow Miller, and the Blue Beetle was probably gone failure, box office failure, because the first character in DCU, but now, and eventually make this animated sequel series set in DCU. Oh, there's one. To me, it's not taken seriously as a film, as a studio. Like, I mean, the box office success of this year was gone. Sinners, the Omicron movie, F1. Another film was a Paul Thomas Anderson movie with the cameo was on the way. But the Warner problem is, I don't care. Warner Bros. Might be the most toxic movie studio in the world. Yes, Sony Pictures and Lionsgate came close second and third. But the problem is, if you Snyder Bros all look at watching the new Zack Snyder stuff over at Netflix, like the Red Moon movies, it was terrible. Heck, even in another film called, even in Netflix animated series called Twilight of the Gods was pretty much mediocre at best. But the thing is, I know that Warner Brothers was one of the best movie studio looking studios ever for the past few years. Well, aside Bobby, that was most of the profitable movie studio ever. Now, last year saw box office flops, and one, except for the few hits like Twisters, which stars David Cornsworth, who before played cast as Superman, at that time of the film and video, but casting was probably look on the Instagram, so check out Brianna video about Instagram post. And heck, even Beetlejuice sequel, we got fan base with alongside Jenny freaking Ortega, the star of the Tim Burton's Wednesday series. But for me, this might be the most decision about, Warner Brothers might file the bankruptcy because Zack Snyder was already left and so Christopher Nolan. I have to break it to you. Zack Snyder is still making terrible streaming stuff over on Netflix, and Christopher Nolan was to have an overall deal with Universal Pictures. So, that's what I know. But the question is DCU was already DOA? Yes and it's no. This is a new beginning. This is a new beginning of DCU. If many people will comment section, DCU is dead. Let's restore the Snyder. No, because Snyderverse is already dead. Like I said, Snyder is move on doing the crappy, terrible streaming stuff over at Netflix. But this is at least in the future. Warner Bros. Was once to be the best looking movie studio ever. Yeah, unlike Universal, Disney, Paramount, Universal, and heck, even the new players like Amazon and GM. But the thing is, it's not going to be happen. The OWB is no longer as a legacy. It's all about the new era. We focus on more the filmmaker-driven studio. And this is all about creative control. We want Warner Brothers as more the difficult studio. But the question is, why the movie not going to be flopped? Well, in case of tomorrow, the new MCU Fantastic Four movie starring alongside Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, and and Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things series, but I'm not going to see that. I'm talking about Superman movie. It was more going to be a successful, not box office flopped. Even Snyder cultists, I'm sorry, Snyder monkey bots, that were the people comments, this movie sucked, it was already a flop in overseas, I want to go see MCU Fantastic Four movie instead. But no! MCU Fantastic Four movie is going to be flopped because of MCU and especially the Pedro Pascal situation. This is DCU. The new era. DC Universe is a new beginning. Heck, even Peter Safran, who also worked at Warner Brothers, especially outside of working, beside of working Warner Brothers, The Monkey was a box office hit, and Head to Stage movie was massive hit on Prime Video. On his way better film than the Snyder's Rebel Crab movies over on Netflix. And even the country film was on the way in September. So yeah, Peter Safran are looking good. Unlike Zack and Deborah Snyder as a production company, I don't know what production company is called. They started Calder, but I'm not trying to trust them. The Safran company is one to be the best looking studio in the world, unlike hack frickin' Snyder. So in conclusion, James Gunn's Superman movie is already box office success, and not gonna be, and Snyderverse is not gonna be, is already dead. But in fact, Snyder came back to Warner Brothers, who is still working on the 300 Pickers series over at HBO Max. But unfortunately, times are too late. I think if James Gunn's Superman movie is already a success, Warner Brothers, and especially the new head of the company, Peter Safran, would scrap 300 prequel series entirely because it leads to the future of the company between DC Studios and Warner Brothers. So yeah, suck it, Snyder cultists. You lose. Don't watch MCU Fantastic Four movie tomorrow. Go see James Gunn's Superman movie in theaters. But there's one thing to say, if Snyder Bros in comment section, but Zack Snyder is not a hack, he's a visionary director who makes like slow-mo stuff. No, Zack Snyder is a hack. You need to move on, and you need to touch your grass, and get a life, and go see James Gunn's Superman movie in theaters. That's what you know. And don't go see MCU Fantastic Four movie because of MCU and Pedro Pascal situation. That's the rant for the day. Go see James Gunn's Superman movie in theaters. And then please leave in the comments what you think about this movie, and not pretending comments about Snyder cultists that people calling that MCU Fantastic Four movie is way better. Heck no. Please leave a comment positive about the new James Gunn Superman movie, as well as the DCEU as a whole. So please, let's respect the past from DCEU and Snyderverse, and embrace the future of Gunn's DCU. Thank you for watching, and whenever, water's open for DCU. Good night, everyone.